from 7 in the morning. Okay, from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. So I was gonna postpone it, but then I said, well, maybe I could bring it onto this account. And I sent the text out already to people that it wasn't going to be. Then I wasn't sure. I said, you know what? Let me just go into my account, and then if anybody shows up, we can discuss whether to move forward with this or wait till the next time, right? But I'll show you what I plan to talk about in the next thing, or what I wanted to talk about, because I wasn't planning to have electricity. And I said, well, if I do have my phone, because I can always charge my phone in my car. So if I have my phone, I can find something we can just talk about, right? So what I had choose to do, I'm going to screen share something to talk about. First, I'm talking about mushrooms. Okay. What I do, I've been using, well, in my addiction, I got high off mushrooms. We ate mushrooms so we could trip and stuff like that, right? Not know anything about it, but now I'm clean, and I came across these mushrooms, and it took me back to mind. I'm like, mushrooms, but they have what they call mushrooms with the psilocybin that get you high, and then they have mushrooms that's really good for your body and good for your mind. So, and it's different mushrooms have different functions. Each one has their own functions. So this particular one is talking about the health benefits of mushrooms. A lot of people don't understand. They really do. See, because it is a fungus. And matter of fact, the Pennsylvania grows more mushrooms. You see, Pennsylvania, I think it's Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the two states that grows the majority of the mushrooms we eat, and Pennsylvania is one of them. So they're very plentiful. Now, this is a general, most mushrooms do. This is not a specific mushrooms, because we'll get into that later. But this is what mushrooms tend to do, the health benefits. So the first one you can see, it decreases the risk of cancer. And they did a review. They had 17 cancer studies. Okay, and that's a lot, because cancer is a big killer, kills a lot of people. So, and what they're saying, just 18 grams of mushroom, and that's like a 1/8 of a cup. That's hardly anything. Or 2 medium mushrooms may lower your risk of cancer by 45%. That's a whole lot for just 2 medium mushrooms. It's like, it doesn't make sense not to eat mushrooms knowing that. It's still the number 2 killer cancer in the United States, in the world. So something as cheap and easy accessible as mushrooms, it's like a no-brainer. And even if you don't like the taste of mushrooms, they have mushroom powders that you can put in your cereal, in your stews, in your smoothie. You won't even taste it, because well, I have to, like, I have the powder. Let me get one. I don't know if you can see it from here, but
I actually love mushrooms.
yeah, I know. So do I. So do I. Especially when I stuff them with crab meat. No, I know. But I don't know if you can see this, but this is a powder. You can see. I can put my finger. I'm the only one that does this. But it's a powder, and this is a mushroom blend. That means this is a blend of all the edible mushrooms in one. I also have separate mushrooms, like for instance, when I want to relax, I'll use the reishi, because reishi is for relaxation. Okay, so that's interesting. Only 2 mushrooms could cut your cancer risk by 45%. That's a whole lot. And they say some mushroom varieties, such as shiitake, which I have, oyster mushrooms, oh, they make the best fried chicken. If you would like the taste of fried chicken, take some oyster mushrooms or king oysters and bread them and dip in the batter and deep fry them. You swear you're eating fried chicken. I don't know why that is, but so that's a good thing to know, that if I eat mushrooms, I can actually lower my cancer risk. Okay, here's another one. It lowers sodium intake. And that's so huge for the African American community, because we run a risk of high blood pressure is prevalent in our communities of African Americans, because of how we eat. Too much salt. Everything we eat. See, what people don't understand, food has salt in it before we add salt to it. But because our over intake of salt, it deadens your taste buds. So when it deadens your taste buds, you feel like you gotta add all this extra salt to it so you can get some taste. Because the salt is actually taking the taste away. So it's like a detox. You stop eating salt and you figure, I can't taste my food. But the longer you go without the salt, your flavor, your taste buds will come back and food will taste good to you. So, and it says sodium, high blood pressure often go hand in hand. Sodium causes the body, see, sodium makes you keep water in your body, and that's what raises your blood pressure. But they're naturally low in sodium. So that's one of those foods you don't have to worry about. It's a study from the Culinary Institute of America shows that swapping half the meat for mushrooms in the traditional ground beef recipe can maintain flavor while reducing sodium income. I don't eat ground beef, but for people who do, you know,
Mm.
that'll be a good a substitution, because some people still eat beef, and I ain't beating nobody up for eating whatever they eat. But my thing is to show you how you do have alternatives, and you can do something different. It promotes lower cholesterol, of course, because if you're eating less meat and less fat and less dairy, your cholesterol is going to be lower. You know how much money the pharmaceutical companies make off cholesterol medication? Oh my God, almost everybody I know takes cholesterol medication. So, but to lower that, it shows you excellent substitute for red meat while minimizing calories. Some people in households, they have like a meatless night or 2 or 3 nights they don't eat meat. They can replace that with mushroom. And the big mushroom caps, you can find them big like that. You can marinate those and roast them, and they taste just like a burger. It's amazing. I mean, really does. And not that I don't really miss the taste of the meat as long as it tastes good. So it's about using the right spices and seasoning, because that's what you taste, the seasoning and spices that will help you get through that. Okay, now down here we have protect brain health. People who have, like they said, mild cognitive impairment. I have a friend who had part of her frontal lobe removed, and it has to do with your cognitive functioning. So she doesn't have like she goes to rage real quick because she doesn't have that thing to control her. So she has problems, you know what I mean? And it causes memory and major memory problems, major. And so I've been talking to her about getting that. And here they did a study in Singapore who ate more than 2 cups of mushroom a week. And that's not a lot, 2 cups in 1 week. And it had a 50% lower risk of developing that. See, some people start out normal and develop that. Some people have it already. Even those who ate only 1 cup saw some benefits. So it's definitely benefit to eat mushrooms. Okay, here's another thing that's really special. It provides a source of that vitamin D, and there's a lot of food that don't have vitamin D in it. Milk, for instance, they put vitamin D in milk. And the only other way, the most way to get it, especially during the summertime, you have a layer of cholesterol right underneath the layer of your skin. And when you go out in the sun turns that cholesterol into vitamin D. So the majority of vitamin D is getting from the sun. So the winter time is the time you tend to increase your vitamin D because you're not out in the sun as much. So we tend to be deficient during those winter months. So during the winter months, if I eat my mushrooms, I can get my vitamin D. And you don't have to always cook the mushroom. Like I said, you can put it in a smoothie, put it in your oatmeal, put it in your yogurt, and a lot of it don't even have a real taste to it. You know what I mean? Depending on what you put it in. You can even use it to bread, like how you might bread your fish, or you might bread something, or bread chicken. You can put that in the breadcrumbs. You can even put the mushroom in the breadcrumbs. It sounds weird, but it is. You can use it as a coating to get it in you. This is like humans, certain mushrooms exposed to ultraviolet light can increase. Oh, I'm just saying, I already said that, but it says it here, increased vitamin D amount. And it tells you which ones, the white button, the portobello, which is very common. Portobello, you see it in every grocery store. You might not always find the cremini or the shiitake or the oyster, but you definitely will find the white button. It depends on the neighborhood you go into. If you go into a lot of white neighborhoods, you find more varieties of mushrooms, or health food stores, or farmers markets. You can find more varieties of mushroom. And also, it stimulates gut health. And that was always one of my problems, but it's gotten better when I started with the sea moss. Like I said, I was in the hospital for 2 days. They was pumping me up with morphine every 4 hours for this pain. And then when they couldn't do it, they would pain, except it was on my head. It's a whole long story. So I gave up on that. They gave me some pills. I threw them away. Matter of fact, they made me have a seizure. But anyway, so I said, that's it. So I did sea moss and fine. But then I found about the mushrooms. Good for your gut health because of the bacteria, it's good bacteria. See, they research all these. The most abundant carbohydrates stimulate the growth of healthy bacteria because there's healthy bacteria to help to break down the food and stomach acids, and that's really good to, because when you have colonoscopies, it kind of keeps your colon clean, kind of makes you go to the bathroom too. Not as a laxative, but it provides your body with enough good bacteria so it could help you digest your food properly and make use of the food. Because if you don't digest the food properly, your body can't absorb the nutrients that the body needs to stay healthy. Okay, and then it supports a healthy immune system. And especially today with all this going around with the coronavirus and no telling us what's going around and still coming around and still yet to come. And it tells you it has macronutrients that support a healthy immune system. And it shows you what it has. It has the selenium, prevent cell damage. So your cells, that's a hit too. That's why vitamin D3 is good. No, not vitamin D3, zinc. When you take zinc provides a coating around each cell to protect it, to stop viruses from entering the cell. But you got to take it every day. You can't just, take it this day. No, you got to be consistent and take it every day. And I started taking the zinc, and I had blood work done, and doc was pretty amazed. She said, "Oh, your D3, and numbers were like really good." And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" My doctor asked me that. "What are you doing?" Right? Because I'm not into vaccination, none of that stuff. You can't give me a needle. But I told her what I was doing, and the D. It's already talking about the D, and the B6 helps your body form red blood cells and proteins. Oh, I'm running out of time already. It's not over yet though. Okay, to make sure eating best food and retail primary care. Okay, and so that's it for that. And that's 7 really important things that to help you. And I don't know if I have time. Will I have time for this other one to tell you about adaptogens and what? Oh man, let me screen share that. Okay, now we're here talking about adaptogens, and people say adaptogens. What is that? Okay, they have adaptogens and nootropics, and you're talking about supplements. And they said, what is an adaptogen? And what it is, it says when you're feeling stressed, the answer is adaptogens, because our bodies, we go through a lot of stress, and it can exhaust you physically and mentally and spiritually as well. So you want to balance those stressors. And it tells you the benefits because it relieves stress as far as in your mind. I mean, in your body, that's the body one. But the nootropics is what calms your mind. So you're talking about your body, the stress that your body goes through. Okay, and they give you some commonly used adaptogens, and mushrooms is a part of that. You'll see that. Holy basil, that's an herb. Okay, Tulsi, that's another name is Tulsi. I've seen that in the store, the queen of herbs, because it has a particular acid that reduces your level of cortisol, and that's the stress hormone reduced by the brain. So that's a really good, often compared to having a glass of wine, the effects of it. Not that you won't want, you won't feel drowsy or sleepy, but it'll take the edge off that stress thing. You won't get high, no, it's not about that, but just to relieve the stress. You know, some people take pills and all that kind of stuff, drink wine, do smoke weed, whatever. But some as simple as a herb, and it's very cheap, very. Now, euthero, also known as Siberian ginseng, is almost the opposite of holy basil. It supports your energy levels, you know, which naturally occurs. So it supports memory and concentration. And that's what I need because, you know, I have CRS, can't remember shit. You know, that age comes with age, certain things. I had a lot of head injuries from car accidents and things. So I have that's one of my things I struggle with sometimes is the memory. There's other things you can do for memory, like rosemary oil. That's good for memory because it stimulates circulation, and so that's good. And there's rhodiola, and that's in a functional way. All deals with the stress. So what you're seeing is adaptogens deals with stress, bodily stress, performance stress when you're working out, or if you're tired, you know what I mean, like that thing. Ashwagandha, I have that too. I have that in a powder, and they've been using that for centuries. You know, they call it the super herb. They have a blog. We're not gonna go there, but it's known for traditionally connecting the mind and the body, and it's full of phytonutrients to help your body adapt to the stress. And then last is there's the mushroom. I told you earlier about the reishi is the one for relaxation, and it's a mushroom of longevity. It's a stress hormone, and it's made in the that particular cortisol is made in the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys, and reishi is known for supporting these important glands that are tied to the way your body handles stress. Isn't that amazing? I mean, a simple mushroom could do all that. It is. I'm still astounded by it. And so this shows you the benefits real quick of adaptogens. Holy basil for stress, eleuthero for energy, rhodiola for endurance, and for balanced mood. So can you imagine with all these together? And you can take them together. It's safe. And then the last but not least, longevity. That's the mushroom right there. See, this is an herb. Uh, Ashwagandha is a root. That's a herb, and that's a herb, right? But that's a mushroom. But ashwagandha is actually a root, and that's what they use. Um, you see, ashwagandha is really prominent now when you go in the store, health food stores. You can get it in powdered capsules, you know, or the root and boil it or whatever. Okay. And now we're going to talk about nootropics. Okay, and they call them, are they real life smart drugs? Because you know what it does, is that while sharing some similarities to adaptogens, they're really of a class of its own. Um, so this is what some of the things it helps with. Enhance learning ability, just like the other mushroom was good for your brains. You know, when you deal with your stress, you can learn more. When you relax, you're more open. You're more easy to get along with. You absorb more. You enhance your brain resists learning behaviors which may be disruptive. It protects your brains from various chemical imbalances. You know, like some people say they have what's that thing back and forth bipolar disorder. Something like that. I would try treating somebody with that if they have those things. Muscle contractions and relaxations. You ever get trolley horses in your legs from sitting a certain way? And that's, you're talking about painful, and the only way you can do is walk it off, basically, or try to massage. But stuff like that can help with that. Matter of fact, since I've been doing them, I used to get the try sometimes my toes stick together, they get cramped. I haven't had that in a while since I've been doing it. Must have come to think of it. It's like an afterthought. And have low side effects and avoid sedation. It doesn't sedate. In other words, it doesn't get you high. That's what they're saying. And you don't really have any side effects. You might like the taste or whatever, but really no. And it tells you about the benefits, right? Each of them See, each one has unique ways to help the body adapt to stress. And each new topic is also unique in how it supports cognitive functioning. So one deals with the body stress, and the other one, when they say cognitive functioning, they talk about how you think and stuff like that, your brain. Okay, so they're showing you what nootropics is good. And there's the mushroom again. But this is the lion's mane mushroom. And they did a lot of research on that. And it supports nerve outgrowth as well as nerve growth factor. It says the brain, it would be better to communicate with itself. The beautiful waterfall of mushrooms tend to attach itself to the side of hardwood trees. You know, the way to make it sound so romantic, right? But then you have adaptogenic herbs. And that's when they talked about rhodelia. Okay, that's one. B vitamins also have those same qualities because it relaxes you, it supports your brain health. Like I have, somebody gave me, look at this stuff somebody gave me. It's supposed to be some brain stuff. Yeah, I have some brain stuff.
Minute and a half left.
Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah, they gave some. This is supposed to be for your brain, and it has some herbs in it. But I don't take nothing that the pharmaceutical company take, because when I looked at it, it had some stuff that nootropics. But then, of course, they had to throw their little chemicals in and mess it all up. So I didn't take it, right? So B vitamins you got to get through. So it shows you here: lion's mane for nerve growth, rhodelia for endurance, performance, vitamin B for stress support, and the jacknet earth for balance. And you know how stress can affect your body. Okay, balancing your brain. So this is a way you can do it.
You got less than a minute. You have less than a minute.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I hope somebody got something out of this. If you want me to send you the information on your phone, send me your number and I can send it to you. Or you can look, if you record the video, can watch it over again. But this is so important for your brain health and your body health and stress, because there's so much stress in the world. So that's all for now. And I hope you come back in 2 more weeks and I'll have more for you. Come on, go ahead, Reggie. You're on now.
That's plenty. That's Althea. Y'all give it up for Althea. Come on, put your hands together. Yeah. Lavenderlite. And we'll be back the second Thursday of October. Till then, peace and blessings.